Hi guys, welcome back. Uncle Beard back again. It's a bit chilly today, so we're wrapped up, but we're out for some fun. Finn's out with me over there. Say hello, Finn.
Hi.
He's just setting up his tarp. Right, what I thought I'd do today is my top tips for hammocking. Okay, so I'm going to kick straight off. Tip number 1, pre-prepared ridgeline. Nothing special, doesn't have to be this stuff. It can be paracord, it can be this, Dyneema, it can be whatever you're using at the time, you know, whatever your preferred method of ridgeline is. But what I do, each tarp that I use, whether that's Finn's tarp or my tarps, I have a pre-prepared ridgeline hanked up like that in the top of the tarp bag, so when you get to camp and it's lashing it down with rain, or you just need a quick shelter, your ridgeline's there. You're not having to mess about, you know, finding your hunk of paracord and making prusik loops and finding toggles. That's there. And if you see, those are duffel coat toggles, wooden duffel coat toggles from any sewing shop. So I'm going to get this ridgeline set up now, and I'll show you them, because the prusik tomber, I'll show you them once they're set up. So just bear with me, guys. Right guys, so we've got this ridgeline set up nice and quick. Taut line hitch that end, and something I'll show you in just 1 second on that end. Nice and simple. These little duffel coat toggles cost about 20p. They don't weigh anything, and they're prusik on, so that simply you can just deploy your tarp when you get to camp. And just, if I can get my finger in that loop. Toggle that on there. The beauty of this system is, anybody else out there who's using toggles, is you could adjust that to wherever you want. So that now is nice and tensioned up, ready for your guy lines putting out. Nice and simple, never comes undone, nice and tight. That's my tip number 1. Okay, tip number 2. If you've got a ridgeline, get a ridgeline organiser. Doesn't have to be like this one, it can be anything. You could just stick an old dry bag up there, small dry bag, doesn't really matter. But these, just to put, if you wear glasses, just to put your glasses in. I've got a couple of bits of cordage in there, some extra prusiks. There's actually, I can just feel them now, there's some earplugs in there. You guys who go on group camps, you know how essential earplugs are. So yeah, if you've got a ridgeline, get a ridgeline organiser. That's my tip number 2. Okay, tip number 3. This is a good tip in general, not just for hammocking. I always carry a piece of this stuff. You've all seen it, it's the general purpose insulation. They sell it by the roll at your discount supermarkets every now and again for about 10 quid. Sometimes I carry a slightly bigger piece than this. I've switched packs and this was what were in it. I think the Americans call it Reflectix, but it's just like your general purpose camper van type windscreen insulation or whatever. Great for a sit pad. It's great for fanning the fire. It adds a little bit of extra support into your pack. But what I like about it when you're hammocking, if it does get really cold, and you've got an underquilt, if you use an underquilt like I do, I open it up like this, and I slide it under my backside, in between the hammock and the underquilt, and that just boosts your temperature rating. Now if you're using a DD, it's great for that. That's when I first discovered it, before I went all fancy and went with my custom down. In the DD, slip a piece of that in. Quite a big piece if you like. I'm not saying it has to be small like that. You can use a metre square. You know, slide that in and you will notice a massive difference. Okay guys, so that's tip number 3. Okay, tip number 4, get yourself some sort of ground sheet. It's just nice when you wake up, especially this time of year, when you wake up and you've got somewhere dry to stand to get your trousers on and get your boots on, and also just somewhere dry to store your kit. Obviously everything's going to be under your tarp anyway. I just use a rain poncho, but some of you guys have seen my photographs. Sometimes I use just a cut up piece of orange plastic. I've actually got that with me. I always carry that because again, that's got several uses, just like the sheet of Reflectix. It can be used for signalling. It can be used just to, you know, just to sit on ground. If you stop for 5 minutes, just to sit on ground, just somewhere dry to sit. But yeah, I've got quite a lot of kit with me this weekend. I've got food and a few other bits and pieces, a bigger pack. So I just put my poncho down. We're not going to be doing any trekking. I'm not going to need my poncho. I've got my smock. So my poncho doubles as my ground sheet. Also another great tip there. Always make sure that your kit's got more than one use. So that's tip number 4. And lastly but not leastly, number 5. This is quite a good one. This one that it took me a couple of years to get used to. When you're retiring for the night and you're ready to get in your hammock, before you get in your hammock, go for a wee, because there's nothing so sure as the minute you get in that hammock and get warm, you'll need to go. So go before you go to bed. All right, guys. Right, that's me done for now. We're going to enjoy the woods. I'm going to get this tarp up because it looks like it's going to chuck it down and get a fire lit. So look after each other, look after yourselves, and I'll see you on the next one. Uncle Beard out.